You have one new message.
How's it going there, Mike? It's Ralph from the office. So you're working there for the night shift? Excellent. Excellent. It's about time we finally have someone qualified for the job, you know? And I mean qualified in a very loose sense, of course. Now, I know that you worked for the company previously and that you were fired for allegedly tampering with the animatronics and that you were sent a pink slip, and you had a legal battle with the old owners, of course, following the whole thing. Now, before we get down to business, man, I want you to clench your mind about anything you might have heard about the location that you worked at originally. Some people still have a somewhat negative impression of the company even after the place was closed down. And if I'm being honest myself, that place took way too long to be set for demolition. But, I want to reassure you, man, with us in charge now, we are fully committed to, above all, safety and fun and stuff. Doing a better job than the old owners, of course. Those guys can excuse one bite, but two in 4 goddamn years. PR really had a hard time with that one. Now, you will know yourself from your experience, your previous experience, that the animatronics move around on their own in the middle of the night a lot. Pretty atypical for a children's entertainment center such as this place, but it is what it is. So your job is to watch them on the cameras to make sure that they operate correctly. Because the last thing that any of the children here need to see is their favorite character falling over. Because, like, for example, if their leg fell off because the joints were too stiff or something, or like they just broke off. Or, for example, like their servos get locked up and they freeze up, looking like a dead corpse, with a creepy face, scaring the kids and stuff. So, your job is to watch them and make sure they operate correctly. And in the case that they do fall over, there's an instruction manual situation in one of the drawers on your table. Not that you ever need to, of course. I mean, the last guy that we had, last engineer, he hasn't talked to us in 6 months. So, no pressure on that front either. The only real risk to you, though, Mike, is the fact that these characters were built cheaply, with the newest technology in mind. Facial recognition software, advanced mobility, free roaming during the day and the night, and most importantly, all of them are tied into some kind of criminal database, so they can detect a predator a mile away. Now, that might sound all handy-dandy and stuff, but the problem is the facial recognition and the advanced mobility. When it gets quiet, they think they're in the wrong room, so they try to find where the people are, and in this case, that's your office. And when they see you, they don't recognize you as a person. They recognize you as a criminal for some reason on their database, if they think you look like one. So, to accommodate with that, we've given you an empty Freddy Fazbear head. You can put it on any time when they come into your office and leave it on until they walk out. Eventually, anything that wanders in, wanders just right back out like that, in a whim. But I should warn you, leaving it on for too long might make you choke to death, because there are toxins in there and other asbestos crap in there as well. So, again, just don't wear it for too long, wear it when you need to. I guess that's it. You should be golden. Check the lights, put on the Freddy head if you need to. Check the cameras, make sure the guys don't fall over from stiff joints or whatever. Piece of cake. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
You have one new message.
Well done, Mike. Odds are round 2. You're natural. Okay, so I'm sure by now you've noticed the older models from the location that you worked at sitting in the back room, which is on camera 6 on your tablet. We use those guys now for reference material and for spare parts. As a matter of fact, the original idea for this place was to refurbish them and repair them. And we kind of went ahead a small bit, a little bit, by giving them some extra rooms around the endoskeleton mouths and the arms and legs to make them stronger on the inside so that they don't, the risk of them breaking down is lowered. And but they were just so ugly, I mean, like the smell as well. Like it was just, my God, the smell was bad. So we just went cheap and just went with the plastic ones, and modeled those plastic ones after the original cast. Yeah, I love those old casting characters myself. Did you ever meet Foxy the Pirate at the old location? He was always my favorite of the four guys. They tried to remake him into a more feminine character for the new set of guys, changing him from a pirate to a more gossip girl kind of character to keep the younger ones entertained. Bit of a weird decision on their part, but then again, it is a new generation now, so might as well go with the flow. Oh yeah, speaking of which, of the two Foxies, recently the old one's gotten a bit twitchy. I'm not sure if the Freddy head trick will work on Foxy. If for some reason he starts activating during the night and gets out of the back room, and you see him standing at the hallway right in front of you, just flash your light at him from time to time. Of the four guys, he's the one who's most sensitive to lights. And, it always keeps, like, for some reason, the lights have always kept him in place for the past 2 years, so I'd recommend, like, working with those lights for him. Also, the same thing with the new Foxy. It's almost like she doesn't like to be watched, so with your camera light in camera 1C at the Kids Cove section, which is closer to your office on your tablet, if you see her peeking out of her curtains, just keep flashing a light at her so that she moves back in and just shades the light away, because, again, maybe she's more camera shy, I guess, but I don't know. Anyways, also I forgot to mention it last time as well. Make sure to conserve the power for the building, because for some stupid reason the lights basically run on the power source of the building itself, and it doesn't come cheap. There's a very serious security feature that we have in place that limits how much power we have. So, like, in case someone forgot to turn off something somewhere. So, just manage the power with the lights, and again, use everything sparely. It's kind of my advice. Anyways, hang tight, Mike. It will all pass. Have a good night.
You have 1 new message.
Well, Mike, looks like you're doing a fantastic job. I mean, you are far better than the last guy that we had. Of course, because he damaged one of the animatronics that we have. I know you did yourself, but, allegedly. Allegedly. I guess our guy went a bit crazy during his time here. You know that character in the prize corner that comes out of the box? The puppet thing? Yeah, I always had a bad feeling around that one. You know, even though it's on a track, like, it just, for some reason, I always thought, like, it was thinking something, like it could go anywhere, anytime, anywhere, anyhow, for some reason. So, yeah, it was a bit off-putting for me. I think I remember that the puppet itself actually belonged to an old place called Freddy Bear's Entertainment Center or something like that. It was closed for years though, long before the original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza opened up. So it's kind of long gone now, but I think the old owners purchased it for some kind of rare events in their time, but I'm not sure. Anyways, hang tight. It will all pass. Have a good night.
You have 1 new message.
Well, Mike, night 4. I told you to get the hang of it. Okay, so, just to update you, you remember that previous security guard I told you about last night? Yeah. We got a call from the cops today. Apparently he's gone missing. And, there's been somewhat an investigation going on. We may have to end up, the closing days for a few days. I'm not sure. It's just a bit of a internal investigation into our things because, the whole craziness in his mind kind of did start from here, I think, in retrospect. I remember the last night he asked me to be with him on his shift that night. He said that he wanted to show me something, and I said, no, I'm too busy with my wife because, my wife is in labor at the hospital. So, he still showed up for his shift, and he lost his mind, and I guess completely smashed the puppet thing, smashing the torso of the puppet, and I guess they had to rebuild that thing without a wire body, so that's why it's on a track. Yeah. Anyway, you know what? It will all pass, and as far as I'm concerned, I can personally assure you, whatever's going on out there has nothing to do with our establishments. It's all just rumor and speculations, people's trying to make up stuff, all that crap. So, you know what? I'll leave you to your work, stay tight, we'll talk again tomorrow, and hopefully things will be better. Have a good night.
You have 1 new message.
How's it going, Mike? Week's nearly over. I don't really have much to tell you tonight, man. I guess the only thing I can say is that you should keep a close eye on things tonight. Not just the animatronics. From what I understand, the building's on lockdown. I guess no one's really allowed in or out, especially considering any previous employees. When we get everything sorted out, I think the boss might be moving some people to the day shift and then the night shift, probably swapping some places around, but I'll make sure that you aren't those guys, because I think you're more comfortable here than getting overstimulated by the people in the place during the daytime, so we'll see. Yeah, that's all I can say, really, man. You've done a great job so far, and I'll talk to you next week. Have a good night, Mike.
You have 1 new message.
Mike, you do know that you don't have to be down there tonight, right? Well, I guess you're very committed to the job then. All for that sweet, sweet cha-ching, am I right? Yeah. I can't really say much. I mean, the place itself was just put under some kind of quarantine thing. At least for a few months now. Someone used one of the suits in the back and removed the endoskeleton, I think. Now I guess that none of them are acting right. As a result of that, probably just completely blown their minds. Well, anyways, you've done a great job this week. Now, just please take a break tomorrow and relax. We have a birthday party tomorrow, so if you want to come in for that and just hang out after it's done, you're more than welcome to do so. But again, just take a break tomorrow, and because you've earned it, you've done a great job. Alright, I'll see you next week. Good night, Mike.